Hello everyone. Today our group will be presenting about Singapore mobocracy leadership styles and comparison with leadership styles in Indonesia. Our group consists of me, myself, Musar Jiansah, Sarah Adila, Nabila Shafa, and Disalea Nitya. For the introduction, we're going to be explaining what influenced Singapore to become a developed country. How is the leadership style applied in Singapore and the influence on the Singapore state? And what is meant by mobocracy and how does the Singapore leadership style compare with the leadership style applied in Indonesia? The purpose of this presentation is for knowing the influence of Singapore in making a developed country. Also knowing how the leadership style applied in Singapore and its effects. And finally explaining the mobocracy that is applied in Singapore and find out how the comparison of the mobocracy leadership styles in the country of Indonesia.
Now, I would like to present about Singapore. Singapore is a country located in Southeast Asia and developed country in Asia. Singapore has few natural resources, therefore Singapore has to depend on other sectors by importing various basic needs from other countries. Next, the influence of the state of Singapore which made a developed country. The status of developed countries can be obtained from international recognition and is closely related to international trade cooperation between countries in World Trade Organization or WTO. The general characteristic of developed countries are rapid economic growth, mastery of advanced technology, large per capita income, low unemployment, and good levels of education and health. Singapore was recognized as a developed country in the 90s and experienced economic growth during the leadership of Lee Kuan Yew in 1959 until 1990. We can see the chart on the right that Singapore rise to among the world's richest nations.
So thank you, Nabila. So now I will be presenting about the influence of leadership style applied in Singapore. Lee Kuan Yew was a former Prime Minister of Singapore. His first time on the political stage since he founded the People's Action Party, or PAP, occupies a strategic position as Secretary General. However, PAP is still a minority party under Party Labour as the majority. Lee Kuan Yew introducing a 5-year development plan containing the Singapore government's plans for the future. The content on the plan include cleaning up slum areas, building public housing, emancipating women, expanding education services, providing education services, and industrializing. Lee obliged all citizens to get housing subsidies and old age insurance to alleviate the burden on people's lives besides working. Lee also made various policies that regulate the lifestyle of its citizens, especially in the terms of cleanliness, so that Singapore has a positive image in the eyes of the international community as a country that is clean and slum-free. So what is mobocracy and how mobocracy applied in Singapore? Mobocracy is defined as an Asian-style democracy, or you can say as a hybrid mode of democracy. This is because the mobocracy is very different with Western democracy. At that time, Singapore still had a lot to improve, especially from the human side they have, where there were still many Singaporeans at that time who were still unstable in the terms of economy and life. Based on Lee government, the Singapore state has enormous power in regulating the behavior of its people. Lee Kuan Yew believes that what a developing country needs to progress is order, not the active participation of its people.
Comparison of democratic leadership style in Indonesia. Singapore political system has only begun to undergo slight as change after the last election, which the opposition parties to significant vote in the election. Until the system that was previously run by Lee Kuan Yew still exists today. In stark of contrast to Suharto authoritarianism torn down by the Indonesian Revolution in 1998, Lee Kuan Yew leadership style is closely related to President Suharto leadership style, who override democracy. As the Lee Kuan Yew, both of them can be also be said to have success to bring their countries in a positive direction in terms of development. Although they have similar leadership style during the Suharto and Lee Kuan Yew area, these two countries have significant difference, especially in terms of the level of progress of the country. Singapore has a small area, so the process of the manufacture, implementation, and police oversight it will be more effective to do. In contrast, Indonesia, which is very clear, has an area much larger than Singapore. So, in conclusion, democracy that is known as a leadership style that has been implemented in Singapore has helped Singapore become a developed country and has power into their economy. Lee Kuan Yew helped Singapore achieve the goal of the advancing Singapore and becoming an independent country. He managed to change and make Singapore achieve goal and a well-known country. Safe to say that the difference between Indonesia and Singapore has made both countries grow into different goals and success or where both countries stand. So that's all our presentation. Thank you.